Far from Vesuvius podcast. That's Ralph Pizarro of Calcio Napoli Club. Just rant about Napoli.
Let's go for it.
We're gonna rant. We're gonna match report. We're gonna talk about the games. We're gonna talk about topics. You leave comments, and we'll read your comments out. Questions.
All right, quick stats.
Yes, throw the stats up there. On to a nice little segment that we're gonna call the Beast of the Match.
Who is beasting it for the Napoli team? Let's see.
Follow us on Facebook, Rafael Rispo, Ralph Pizarro, Twitter at RafaNapoli83. That's me.
CNC USA 26.
I want some feedback to the show. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to see more and less of? This is going to be a show for you guys too. I want a lot of comments.
We want to rant about something. Let us know if you want us to rant about something.
I promise you, we're not going to agree on everything all the time.
We won't.
We're going to yell at each other every now and then.
Come and rant. This is what it's for. We want to give you a space to let loose so you can do it here.
Well, that's going to do it, Ralph. Were we boring enough for you?
I don't know. I think we were great.
Let's get to it.
Maradona and MIlan.
Benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Raff N Raff Rant. I am Raff, joined by my co-host, the vicar of it, Rafa Rispo.
What is going on, Ralph Pizarro? How are you today, buddy?
I'm well. Not as well as last weekend, but still well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Despite the fact that we're not reporting on Napoli in first place this week. We're not, we lost yesterday, and it's a bad loss to follow a really good performance against Lazio and a good win. It's as if there's no reason. Like, actually, last week meant almost nothing. Now at this point.
Okay.
Notwithstanding, man, we had a great time yesterday. We'll talk about that more later, but we did have a fantastic time, and I took that away from yesterday. The Ralph Biz and Ralph Rispo, Raff and Raff met up with the Tri-State Napoli Club in their first meetup in Nutley, New Jersey, and it was a fantastic turnout, and it was so much fun still.
Best part of the weekend.
Just missing the win or even a goal, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to talk about the game now with some really, really good, credible people. So
yeah, certainly. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get this rant on the road, man. They were waiting online. We had a few people there online today. Rafa, it was awesome. They were starting up the show even before we got in. We got Sal Brito, New Jersey. But yeah, we were at Nutley, New Jersey. At Luna Restaurant, the Napoli Tri-State Club that Gaetano Salazar started and Peter Scala. It was a great time. We'll certainly talk more about it, but let's get down to business. Now, there are some people here saying about echoes. Guys, if a bunch of you can just confirm to make sure that our sound is okay so we can fix it, let me know if there's any issues in the chat. But moving on to business, Napoli did lose against AC Milan this weekend at the Stadio Maradona. Tough game, real tight. I mean, a 1-0 nail biter. All right, thank you, Scotty Lutz. We're all good now. A lot of mixed emotions, but all in all, do we lose hope? Are we still in it? How are these teams going to perform? I had a lot of questions. About Milan, so I decided, let me ask the experts. So I got two guys in here today. The first one, as one half of the Serie A sit down. He is a great dude, great fan of the show. You know him and you love him. Richard Kharman. Here you are, sir.
Chin chin.
Welcome, sir.
Richard Kharman.
Get that.
Gentlemen, good to see you both.
Welcome, bro. Welcome, man. Good
One of my faves. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited because you got me on here. I'm outside of my Serie sit-down shell, so I can really let go, right? And you got me here as a Milan fan, right? I'm a Milan fan, not a neutral, right? So let me get in the mood. Let me get in character here.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Uh-oh. Well, people got to pay extra for this. There he is. All right.
Much better.
Oh, nice.
I feel better now. All right.
As you should.
Okay, all right. I'm feeling that kit though. That thing.
Yeah, Baggio. That's Baggio.
It's a Baggio kit too as well.
Listen, I gotta say this, okay? Of all the kits out there of other teams, Milan kits are always my favorite. Honestly, I'm
clean.
I have a couple. I have a Nesta one and I have a Maldini one.
Nice.
Back when Napoli was in the doldrums, I was collecting kits from other teams and Italian players.
Right.
I had a Vieri Inter jersey, I had a Del Piero Juve jersey, I had Milan, the Milan kits, I had a couple of Roma kits.
Nice.
And one of my favorites was the one that you guys wore after you won the Champions League in 2003. So I got myself a Nesta kit there. So one of my favorites, man, I gotta say.
And leave it to those bastards to send out do a retro collection. They just came out with like the red, white, and gold from from the Opal. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful. I gotta buy all three now. So
well, hey, look behind me, man. I get you. Totally.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Yeah, there you go. Right. Okay. All right. I got a green thing.
Listen,
here, but
if you ever need to talk, I'm your guy.
Oh yeah, we can talk off air.
We also have it was kind of a last minute invite, but so glad he accepted it.
Yes,
he is 1/3 of the Calcio guys. First time on the show. Actually, it's both two first timers today, which is awesome. Another big Milan fan, but also a very good friend of the show from the Calcio guys. Adreano Di Nardo, welcome, sir.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Guys, I came dressed. I didn't have to. I didn't want to do a striptease to come on the show. So I came dressed.
Ma si pronta, Adriano.
You didn't get the memo?
Man, two striptease, we would have ended up on a paywall this episode. You know what I mean? We got to get this good. Oh man. One of our guests says it's not a Bakayoko jersey. No.
Hell no.
Meno male, right? Yeah. We all know Venezia this year. Does Venezia win kid of the season, guys? Before we get into let's break the ice a little bit here.
I'll tell you what. I'll chime in first there. I feel like the Venezia kits are so like played out at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, they're very nice kits. Don't get me wrong. Kappa does a great job. It's just another example of what Kappa does with teams when they collaborate. But I gotta say, man, I might have to give this season's kits to Fiorentina. I think they put out some real nice retro style kits this season, and I just very clean, very, very clean. So I'll have to go Fiorentina for me.
Guys, what do you think?
Rafa on that one. I'm with Rafa on that one. I was gonna say if nobody was gonna say it, I was gonna say Fiorentina. The retro look, like you said, the retro logo too, guys. Like it's what? It's I don't want to age anybody on the show. I think I'm the youngest one in the room, so I didn't see all that, but it's good to see today. So
I think in general, North Americans, we just love throwbacks. I think it's just like our thing, right? Retro. Yeah, we definitely got that style going, guys. Yeah. But all right, on to the game, guys. The aftermath, Napoli-Milan, guys. I mean, where do we start? I mean, maybe your predictions of the game. I thought this game was going to end in a tie. I mean, I didn't really say much publicly. I definitely didn't say anything while we were at the meet with the Tri-State Club in Jersey. But overall, maybe real quick, what were your expectations coming into this game? Adrian, I'll start with you, and we'll kind of work counterclockwise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these past couple of games for Milan have been a bit rocky. It wasn't the last couple of games wasn't their best stretch. This is a team that's kind of rode their wave. It's been an up and down season for most of these teams. Milan no different. Really trying to turn the page, and it's like one after the other. Tough game. Games you should be picking up points. Injuries,
right.
COVID, what have you. So,
right.
Listen. When you face a top team in Napoli, You know, you wake up for those types of games. You really come out to play, or at least you hope. You know, I think Milan. And I know this was spoken about a lot on social media. I think even Insigne came out saying about Napoli's mentality, but I think the mentality for Milan throughout the match at least shined a bit brighter. So for that, I was happy. Obviously, always going to go in optimistic with my Milan.
Did you?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Were you surprised that they cranked out that W, or did you think, hey man, maybe today's going to be a draw and I'm okay with that? Or did you like, no, we're going to go in there and we're going to handle business. This is for the Scudetto.
Well, listen, you're pointing at the Maradona now, and you know this is not an easy place to play. So yeah, no, I was optimistic. We really needed Milan to turn the page, me and Richard. So to see them do it at the Maradona, like I said, not an easy place to play. With all the Scudetto implications, I know a lot of people don't want to use the S word, but guys, there's 10 games left. It's right around the corner. These are the games you have to come out and play, and I think Milan did so. You know, I was able to watch the game, with my buddies from our show, the Calcio guys, and you know, Danny and myself were able to hug it out. So it was no
good.
bad blood.
That's good. That's good. So the show's still around, you know.
The show's still on. We're back Wednesday night, guys. We'll be back on Wednesday. So
we'll be back on Wednesday.
Tune in.
Thank goodness.
But no. Listen, joking aside, I think we were able to get together with the Milan Club Montreal that I'm a part of. Cafe Ciociaro here in the east end of Montreal. So it was a great vibe, and it was a big game, and I think both teams obviously wanted a victory. I wouldn't have been surprised with a tie, but I don't want to say I would have expected a loss either, because I think when Milan have their backs against the wall, when they face these tougher teams, they've shown it. They're able to pull up some sort of result. It's these smaller teams, quote unquote, that they can't seem to wake up for. A tough team and a big team like Napoli, like I said, Scudetto implications and everything. I knew they were going to wake up for this one.
To be fair, these small teams have been giving everybody a hard time. I mean, there's not one top team, or at least team on the top of the table right now, that can say like at least one small team handled them.
There's no easy games in Serie A, guys. There's no easy games.
No, especially this season, even last season, especially this season. Richard, what say you? What was your score thinking? And you can be honest. The guys in the chat, they don't bite too hard.
No. So pregame, before the match even started, I was talking to Joe Fischetti, and we were going back and forth, and I said, I think both teams, both managers will be content with a draw if come the end of the day. You don't lose any ground on Inter potentially if they continue winning. But I felt optimistic because I know that Maradona is a difficult place. As Rafa talked about in this spaces, it was going to sound like it was max capacity, and it did. But Milan are so good on the road, and so I was optimistic about that. And so I thought a draw was in the cards. I did tweet out, and I think Kristen saw it from your group. She was like, I said Zlatan late winner, but in my heart of hearts, I thought it was a draw. I just saw these two teams are so similar. The forms are very similar, and I thought a draw was in the cards all the way.
Rafa, bringing it up to you. I know we spoke a little bit, but you didn't really mention score lines.
Well, so I honestly, I had a 2 or 3-1 Napoli win, and I know it sounds like I know it sounds like a super optimistic homer pick, but Richard was in on the spaces, and he might have heard it, and I think you guys too, Adriano from Calcio guys, were in.
Yeah.
And I'd mentioned to Mike from IFTV that I thought, looking at it objectively, right? Not being a Napoli fan, not being a Napoli, even a Napoli content creator, right? I looked at it as, Milan needing this result, and Napoli coming in with the momentum of the Lazio game. Like the thing is that, Milan had lost the lead to Salernitana and ended up tying. They tied against Udinese. I know they had that win before those two games, but still I felt like with the momentum coming in was Napoli's way. They had the Maradona, they had players coming back, they had a pretty much full starting lineup. And I thought maybe that the mentality finally shifted, but And that was me thinking, okay, Osimhen's going to bag a couple goals. It might be Fabian again. It might be Insigne with a penalty or something. And obviously, Milan is a good side, so they'll get a goal in there. But I really did think that Napoli had the upper hand going into the match. And knowing that they both really, you see, I'm with you guys when it comes to going in trying to get a draw. But that would have put these three teams at a deadlock, and then it would have to come down to some sort of a 3-team, mini table. Obviously Inter have their match in hand too. I get that, but still, which, hey, listen, 10 matches left in the season still can happen.
Yeah.
Not like it can't.
We're not. Yeah, I don't want to talk like Scudetto winners. I'm gonna stick with my
match.
I'm still gonna stick with who knows, because there's a lot that can happen still.
Yeah, and that was my feeling, was that Napoli. Maybe I was a little bit ahead of myself when I said 2 or 3-1, but I definitely thought Napoli had the upper hand coming in.
Well, I'm going to, again, I had mentioned that I thought draw, that it was going to be a draw. I haven't seen Napoli. I'm not fully convinced right now of Napoli's attack. Like they're not grabbing my confidence as of yet. Guys, I want to give you an opportunity, because there's people in the chat. Maybe I'll start with you, Richard. There's people in the chat saying maybe 3-1, or do you have a rebuttal to this type of scoreline? Rich, I'll start with
not so much the scoreline. I think if Napoli,
or another point that Rafa made.
Yeah, the point that Rafa made during his spaces, and he kind of mentioned just now, was that Milan needed this win more than Napoli, and I disagree with that, because as many people want to say this game could have been a win or loss for Scudetto, it really isn't. You still got 10 games left, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought both teams have been okay with a loss. I think though, obviously whoever wins is going to got a 3-point advantage, but it is what it is. It's not a big of a deal, I think, for either team. I think ultimately, if they both either team showed a good performance, I think it'd been fine. I don't think anybody would have really been hurt by the result of this match. And I still don't think. I think Napoli are still fine. Would you rather won? Hell yes. But I can also see a scenario. Rafa said 3-1. You guys are saying 3-1. If Napoli play their game and Milan are not shutting down the lanes like they did, they could easily blown them out. Some of those passes, Napoli are playing fairly well, but Milan were just reading everything. And that game could have easily been a blown up for Napoli. That was my big worry, that Napoli were going to do the thing, and then we couldn't answer for anything, and you guys just blow us out of the water. That was a big fear, really, for me.
A friend of mine was actually my manager. He's a Milan fan, and we were texting back and forth. I got approved for the day off, by the way, so we're good with there. But we were texting back and forth, and he was telling me right when the game started how Napoli and they did came out and started attacking. I mean, it was definitely, again, like maybe the tale of two halves again with Napoli. But Adriano, coming out of the gate, were you worried at all when with that first? Let's just say let's talk about the first half a little bit. Were you worried at all? Do you think Napoli was going to get maybe an early goal? Because I feel like even with who was it? It was with Barcelona, rather. Like I think it's crucial to get the ultras out of the game as fast as possible. Were you afraid of this at all, or were you pretty confident that Milan was going to hang on?
Yeah, I mean, listen, trying to absorb that early pressure, and when you got a guy like Victor Osimhen, this is it's a talented player at Napoli's disposal. I know he gets a lot of flack online, but this is a quality striker in Serie A this year, even last year a bit. So, obviously it's going to be worrisome. We're playing, not a true center back in Pierre Kalulu. We'll get into that later, but he's really stepped up when he hasn't been needed. Obviously, trying to absorb that early pressure. It was a little bit back and forth, but the only thing that really scared me, if anything, would have been Milan's lack of creativity in the final third and that lack of finish in the final third, because as every Milan fan knows, that seems to be the biggest issue when it comes to Milan, when things aren't clicking. So it's not so much that scared that listen, obviously Napoli's a good team. You have to defend. You have to do your part. But I think it's more on doing your own business and taking care of your own laundry in terms of Milan as a squad. So, no, I wouldn't say too worried, but at the same time, aware, I think would be the word to use. Because, like I said, I saw in the chat a bit, your record at home is not the best, whatever, you can score this and that. But at the same time, you wake up, it's Sunday, it's calcio, it's anything can happen, right? So, all those kind of stats and all those kind of little things for me in my eyes kind of go out the window certain times.
Yes.
So,
You got to look ahead. At this point, everybody has to look ahead. Never mind behind and look ahead, and that's the way it is.
I got a couple stats here. I'll read it out real quick, and maybe we can kind of jump into a couple subjects. I saw an article. It was on Napoli.it today. It was actually right before the show. I was looking up a couple things. So, last season at this time, Milan is +1 in points. 60 points right now. Currently, they had 59 same time last season. Napoli up +4 points. 57 points currently. They were at 53 last season. Inter -10. They are at 58 currently. They were at 68 last season. And that's when we kind of knew in December or even January that, all right, they're going to take the Scudetto. Juventus -5 at 53 currently. They were at 58 last season. So we said last episode, guys, I don't know if you caught it. We were with Joe Fischetti, that the winner of the Scudetto will have 85 points this season. Richard, and then Rafa, we spoke already, but of course, interject if you will. But Richard, I want to get your thoughts, man. I want to extend the same question to the both of you guys, actually, without being biased as far as like who will win the Scudetto. I want to know how many points will the Scudetto winner need to win this season.
I think that's a great shout with 85. I was watching a lot of people doing the statistics in the last over the last week, really, including you guys. And I think that magic number is going to be 85. I do. 84, 85 is probably going to win it. You expect the three horses here, Napoli, Inter, and Milan, to really go toe-to-toe here down the way. Inter obviously have the game in hand, but you can easily throw that away. And so I think 85 points is going to win it. And if neither of these teams get 85, you got to be careful because you have to play worst case scenario, right? And people are probably going to hate me saying this, but don't forget about Juve. They've been undefeated since November in the league. They could go on a run, and if we don't do our business, they could steal from all of us. And we got to be worried of that.
Yeah. I said it right. Yeah, Icorn, Fashimi Corn now. You know what I mean?
Icorn, the guy.
No, Rich, I'm in total agreement with you. Not a lot of people are saying it because I think I don't think emotionally we're able to handle that. Yeah. That, oh my God, Juve is gonna come back and take it. I still think in order for them to win the Scudetto, one of these three teams has to, or all of these three teams really have to tank these next 30, these next 10 games rather. So Max Juve is saying it can get
Max Juve can get his 83, and I'm going to throw myself in here really quick.
Go ahead, Rafa.
First of all, Gaetano, yes, they're coming for me, man. I don't understand. Every time I go live, they throw their sirens out. So max points Juve can get is 83. So we're looking at a possibility. And now let's be realistic, okay, everyone? Every team in the top 4 has dropped points to teams that are less quality. Milan obviously has the best record against teams in the top 6. Napoli struggle at home this season. And have a very tough schedule, albeit they have just the Serie to deal with. Milan, no Europe, but still have that, listen, Coppa Italia is not that much of a factor. They have one more game against Inter to play, and then possibly the final at the end of the season. It's an important game, sure. It's another distraction, maybe. But at the end of the day, Milan have a clear road ahead as well. Right. You got Inter, you got Juve, you got Atalanta, even Roma, that still are playing in Europe. and Juve have Coppa Italia too. So Juve are in on 3 fronts. All these teams that have lost to these smaller clubs, guys, we're looking at a possibility that the Scudetto winners finished with less than 85 points this season. Because I think if you ask me, then now Milan's max points this season are 90 points because they're at 60 now with 10 games left, right? So 30 points is 90 points.
Yeah.
I can for sure see Milan dropping more than one more match. I can for sure see it. But I can also see Inter the same and Napoli the same. I really can. So, and for that matter, Juve. Here's another reason why I see Juve struggling. They're injured. They're pretty injured, man. They're very thin on the bench there. They would need to produce, on 3 fronts with a very thin squad. And I don't know if Allegri can get them to do that this season. Yes, they're still in it because they're 4 points, essentially 5 away from Napoli. We have the tie break. But at the same time, it's going to be one of us 3, Milan, Napoli, Inter. And it could very well be that the Scudetto winners are like 79, 80 points. It really could.
Crazy.
That'll be crazy. I mean, how long hasn't that happened?
Can you believe that? Can you
But it's
believe
such a good
that
league. It makes sense. It's a good league.
It's a very good league. It's a mark of a
Very
good
good.
league. It is.
Best league ever. No, I'm with you there. Now, guys, I want to pick your Napoli brains a little bit. Ando B, who's there this Sunday, a friend of ours from the Napoli Tri-State Club, he asks, he says, we used to be a team with a lethal attack who could score at any moment, but we have seemed to switch our tactics to a very defensive approach. I was just talking with my brother this afternoon about Gattuso and Spalletti. Granted, we have currently more points, but do you think, compared to, let's say, last season, just for argument's sake, do you think that there is this less lethalness in the Napoli attack compared to maybe last season, especially when we went on that 10-game run at the end of the season there? Do you see any differences in Napoli? I'll start with you, Adriano, and then we'll work our way around again.
I don't know. You guys are the experts. I would say no, because I don't know. The pieces off the top of my head, the pieces are more or less the same. And now you have a healthy Osimhen, even though he's got the Zorro mask, which I love. But last year he dealt with everything under the sun. COVID, injured.
First year in the league, right?
First year in the league,
getting used to it, right?
80 million price tag on an unknown quote unquote striker.
Right.
I don't know. The thing about the attack, I mean, Insigne, I mean, I love him as a player. If I throw my Milan bias aside,
sure,
he's our 10 for the Nazionale. I've always loved him as a player, representing the South the way he does. I don't know. It's a bit of an interesting thing because we all know what's happening. Come the end of the season. So, I would have thought it would have given him extra motivation. He only recently got his first goal from open play. Everything else has been from the spot. So, I don't know. Politano has kind of been up and down. Chucky Lozano, the same thing. Yeah. So. But listen, guys, these guys are great players on paper. It's just the performances on the pitch that need to translate to that. So right. I think collectively, you guys are struggling maybe scoring. I just can't point my finger onto what that is. Is it the service? Is it the creativity in the final third? Because as Milan fans, like I said earlier, we know all about that. So I don't know, because you guys got a guy like Zielinski, you guys got a guy like Elmas, Elmas, other players. So I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it, but the quality is there. That's for sure.
Okay, so Richard, quality's there, goals not coming. Do you kind of agree? I mean,
I agree with him that that compared to last year, I don't think it's any different. I think the difference is compared to the beginning of the season. Compared to now, I think beginning of the season, you guys are so lethal, and everyone's healthy, of course. But as the season's gone on, and I talked about this with Joe Fischetti last night, is like Spalletti's getting conservative, and he doesn't want to take as many risks now, and so he's closing up that playbook where early in the year he was trying different things, doing
Right, we
70s
were
tricks.
grinding out those wins.
Yeah,
right.
and they're
We
playing
saw
more
it the other
freely.
game.
Now
Sorry,
it's
guy,
just
I don't
like
want to cut you off, Richard. We saw it the other game that he played a formation that they never play, and it's like
That
Spalletti,
3-4-3.
That's right,
Exactly.
guys. Like Spalletti, he went conservative. It backfired on him, in my personal opinion. And it's no offense to any Napoli fans.
Terrible. That was the worst,
it's
worst performance I've seen in a while.
Exactly.
In a while.
Right? So,
like the fact that like you're missing a right wing, first of all right. So you have this, I'm a big Elmas fan, but he's a utility player. He shouldn't be over there. The fact that we haven't played 3 in the back, the fact that like even then, obviously it was later on, but then D'Lo got hurt. He had to come out. Like it was like, what are you doing? I would have rather the conservative approach that he's been doing than to try to like, I don't know why he decided, I'm going to mix it up here against Walter Mazzarri, who is not a mixer-upper. That guy, he plays a system, and this is it, good or bad. You cannot switch with him because he's going to expose you, and he did. And, I mean, I'm hoping, that's not going to be like our Sassuolo from last season or something. I don't know. Raff, if you want to jump in here, as far as being conservative, I know you were a big Gattuso fan. I mean, we supported him on this show, and again, not to get into this coach's battle, but are you as confident right now? Like when we were watching the other day, they had their chances, but I don't know, man.
I think that Spalletti knows how to manage a little better than Gattuso does. I know that Gattuso kind of let the guys, roam freely, a little more freely. The play was designed to, play through the wings more. I feel like Spalletti plays more centralized. And it's the problem with that is that we have a system of how we play, and someone in here said it, and I think maybe they're right, that we might not have, the right players for Spalletti. Spalletti came in and said, I want every player in here, and I want to add a couple more players, but don't get rid of anyone. But, now that Insigne is going, maybe we get a different kind of left winger. Someone a little more suited for Spalletti's style. Maybe it just doesn't work, because last season's Insigne was, this is a far cry from last season's Insigne. Not that I'm saying Insigne isn't vital to our team. I think I think our team is better when he's on than when he's not. But I just feel like there might be something missing. At the same time, the first 10 matches of the season, we were unstoppable. We were flying on, we were firing on all cylinders, and we were unbeatable. So, it's
can Elmas be that guy?
Can Elmas be that guy? Possibly. He possibly can. I do think he's probably the best solution that we have right now. I would agree that
we triggered Gaetano.
He's on fire.
President.
I mean,
I didn't want to get into the manager back and forth.
No.
I
just want to know the differences in our attack and our scoring ability, because
you got a guy like Osimhen.
Maybe they're
you got a guy like Osimhen who is capable of scoring 20 goals a season, but just can't because he's being double teamed. And then when he's forced to spread out in the wing, he tries to go cross it in, and no one's there to cover. Like the wingers aren't fast enough to come up and help out, or they're just not communicating enough. And it's a shame because Osimhen should be the one in the center, And I think like yesterday, Kalulu and Tomori did such a fantastic job of covering Osimhen, and everybody else missed the mark on getting themselves open, from that space that's created. And I think a lot of that has to do with Spalletti, always trying to get him, Osimhen the ball, but he's just too covered. So I feel like some teams might have figured us out at this point. And, not saying that it's over. Obviously, it's not over, and we're lost cause. I'm just saying that teams have figured us out, especially teams that are high in quality,
Yeah, but Rafa, now it just feels like the ball is being tossed over to Osimhen. He's by himself, isolated on a deserted island with no options. I mean,
no
like,
options, no
Expecting
options.
a prayer.
Right.
And then
Hail Marys. I'm tired of it.
when the
Wasn't all
opportunity
that,
comes, right? But then when the opportunity comes for the wingers to have the ball, where like Politano gets the ball, the cross just isn't finding the mark. Like,
isn't there?
Yeah.
I saw in the chat. I don't know, maybe like, and I know we spoke about formations quickly, guys. Is it a change of formation that's needed? A proper change of formation? Do they need two strikers? Does Osimhen need to play off a guy like Mertens?
No, do you know
know
what I think? Yes, I think that's what it is. I think, but the thing is that Mertens is getting older and older, and he's not getting any younger. Yeah. So I feel like we're gonna miss that boat. Like Mertens is not a player that's gonna start every match, and that's why Mertens is not going to be the captain of this club when Insigne leaves. It's going to be Koulibaly for sure.
What about Petagna and Osimhen together? Thunder and lightning. Petagna holding the ball up. I don't know if he can last 90 minutes, but at least it frees him up.
I mean, you're changing to two strikers, and it's something like. I mean,
who do you bring on when one of those guys go down? Who do you bring on?
Right, it's definitely a change.
Mertens.
I mean, Mertens, Mertens, but
tough.
But Mertens, like he didn't get much playtime against Inter. He didn't get much playtime against Barcelona the game after. I noticed Spalletti screaming at Politano on the sideline against Milan yesterday. Lozano underperforming, Insigne underperforming, Mertens not getting that play time, Osimhen all isolated up front. I mean, isn't this the coach's fault? Like, isn't this his call? Like, I just don't trust something that's going on. Like, somebody had said it before, like in the beginning of the season. I mean, Spalletti was, I don't know, does he need more time with his duck? Because
he was proactive. I saw in the chat. Proactive.
He was and listen, this is now. Because not when we were completely decimated again with injuries or when our key players were out on the AFCON tournament. But I the 3-4-3 boggled my mind. They had the players to line up in the same formation. So
then they eventually did. And then they eventually did when he made the substitutions, and we scored a goal to tie it with 3 minutes left.
So it's like it's a little bit of over coaching in my eyes sometimes, man. And it's
Spalletti, I mean, I've seen it everywhere.
And it's not just Spalletti, though, man. Like even Milan deals with it sometimes, like with the over coaching, like let things be. Just let these players play. I mean, can you guys name a specific time that maybe like recently, a couple games ago, a friend of mine was saying
probably Salernitana game.
The Salernitana one, right?
I don't know. Well, that, like, for whatever reason for that game, I don't even think it was on solely Pioli in my personal opinion. We've been praising Mike Maignan since he walked in at Milan, and that's the first game I can say that he had a stinker. And you know what? We raised our hands. He saved us many times. Yeah. I'll give him that. We tied the game. Whatever. That it is what it is. Decisions were made. I don't know if it was all on Pioli on that one, but Richard is right. Pioli has done it in the past, even in Europe, as well. So I think these coaches just get, I don't know if it's ahead of themselves. They're like you said, Raff. They're overthinking and they're
overcoaching, right?
So.
But this is nice to see Pioli get it right in this game against Napoli. That's
exactly
a big matchup, and he outmanaged Spalletti.
Or the first time he put Kessie at the 10, and I know a lot of Milan fans hated it. I was kind of on the other side of that coin, saying that, you know what, it made sense. It brought on Brahim. He made a difference. It worked out. We go home 3 points. We're all happy as Milan fans.
Right.
I'm not saying it's going to work every time, but little things like that, they go a long way. And love it or hate it, if it gets us the points or it gets Napoli the points.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at last week. Zielinski was nowhere to be found this season, like this week, like this week. Elmas comes in for Zielinski, and right away, Napoli are a better team. So now Spalletti's, a genius. Then he puts on Lobotka to help complement Fabian, and Fabian gets the goal in the 94th minute. So there are going to be weeks where Spalletti makes the right call, and there's going to be weeks where Spalletti doesn't make the right call, even if it's the same call. That's the thing, is that I feel like sometimes the managers get too much credit or not enough credit. And then the same thing with the players. The players get too much and not enough. And I do see those comments by Angelo. Angelo made two comments about Lobotka and about not Lobotka. Lozano needs to step up and Zambo needs to start. But here's the thing, Angelo, is that those two guys just returned from injury yesterday. So they may need to start and step up, but they've got another week now to recover more. But those were their first minutes in a month and a half, each. Some maybe Lozano even 2 months. You don't expect results from them. That's maybe one of the things that I wouldn't agree with Spalletti yesterday. Was maybe in that situation they didn't need to come on. We needed a goal. We needed some movement up front. We needed help on the and I know we brought in Unas and Elmas to take over the wings, but. We maybe we should have seen Petagna up there with Osimhen. You never just for the last 10 minutes. Why not? Maybe Anguissa, maybe Anguissa to alleviate the midfield a little bit. But I wouldn't have put Lozano in there. I don't think. And just for me, it's the story of Napoli-Milan this season is the injuries and recovering from them. Right. And trying to manage an Inter that's fit all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
it's true. And it's a good point, Rafa, that you mentioned because Johnny was saying the same point at the bar. He was like, "Fuck, guys, sorry, can I swear? I don't know.
No,
I swear, guys.
Don't worry about it, man.
Okay,
it's late.
How dare you?
We go on late.
Exactly. It's the late show, the late rant. So we're saying all the f-bombs, but
the FCC don't really mess with us too much.
Richard opened with a striptease, so.
True. Hey, right.
Right? So, but no, he was saying the same thing at the bar, and he's like, fuck, what do we have to lose? Just throw up even a guy like Petagna, love him or hate him, it's just another body. These crosses need to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just waiting. I'm with the Napoli consensus about. Like, I know Mertens can't start games, which is fine. I don't even want him to start the game, but I do want him to come in like the 60th minute.
Yeah.
When Zielinski is struggling or seems tired or is just maybe not having the best game. I want him to be next to Insigne. I mean, it might be the last season these two guys, one, put on a Napoli jersey. Well, certainly Insigne. And two, like, the opportunity to play with each other again. Like, maybe having Mertens next to Insigne is kind of like a nice familiar face that they can kind of play back and forth with. Also, Mertens, a person that could service Osimhen. And then you can even have Lozano on that right side when Politano's struggling, because I've seen many times Mertens servicing Lozano to the T.
If I'm honest, Ralph, I'd put Mertens in for Zielinski in the Verona game. I think Verona two games, Zielinski 2 games in a row hasn't really, we barely heard his name in 180 minutes.
Right.
I think they go with Mertens and Osimhen for Verona. I mean, I would, if I were the manager, I'd say, listen, this week we're doing this. We're already down. We might as well try this.
Give him a wake up call.
Yeah.
Give him a wake-up call. And who knows? Maybe it's good to have Zielinski on the bench for a little bit. Let him collect himself. We saw Elmas after covering that whole right side. He got to have a little bit of a break in Lazio. He didn't start the game, but comes off the bench, and he won the beast of our match here, guys. He completely changed the game. Zielinski can do that too. Maybe putting in a solid 30. But this 15-minute shit when you need a result, I can't stand it. I don't get it. Yeah. He wasn't doing this in the beginning of the season. I don't know why he started doing it now. So
doesn't want to lose.
He doesn't want to lose, but you got to want to win too. I don't want to lose, but I also want to try to win, and I want to go down fighting. I'm tired of these snooze fests because we're out there looking like shit. Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from Milan because I thought they had an excellent game. The press was giving us a ton of trouble, guys. I mean. It was so hard for us to we didn't have that time to make those good connections. We kept having to send, you saw it. We kept having to send the ball back. Rui was trying to make runs. I thought Dilo did well. Ozinen was trying to make these runs. I do want to talk about a couple guys. I know we mentioned him briefly, and it was Kalulu. I think he is your beast of the match for Milan. Remember, not man of the match. Remember, beast of the match is a guy who had to do some dirty work. You know, he may have not been the man of the match, but I think he did a good job covering Osimhen, guys. I think he did a good job back there for a young dude. What say you on Kalulu? Rich, I'll start. Let's go clockwise today.
All right. Yeah, that was always the hardest part of the match. When you see Kalulu in the match, you knew he's gonna be lined up with Osimhen. Osimhen's faster than he is. He can outjump him. He's got all these intangibles, but Kalulu just fights, and he fights. And it's what we've seen every time he starts the game. He always gets a shuts out when he starts, it seems. And what was nice is the way Milan set up defensively is that it left Osimhen isolated, right? So Kalulu covered him, and when he was in trouble, you saw Tomori swoop in and clean it up.
Right.
Kalulu fought, and I agree, beast of the match, because again, he's proving that maybe, and I don't know what Adriano thinks, but I think we found a defensive pairing for Tomori. I think Romagnoli, someone mentioned in the chat, if Romagnoli was in this game, I think
you would have lost. Right.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that statement?
I might have to agree with that too.
I think it'll be at least a draw.
Okay.
At least a draw.
Fair enough.
Kalulu is just he's not the all the technical skills that maybe Tomori has or Chiar, even Romagnoli, but the fight he has, he never gives up, and he never gives up goals.
Right.
He fights every week, and you got to love that.
It almost like evened everything out, because Osimhen is the same way. Like, he's not the most technically gifted. He's not the most complete player. Fine. But he's a guy who fights. He's a guy who
work.
But Baresi was never the biggest guy, right? Or the fastest guy.
No.
We're not saying it's Baresi, but
yeah.
saying.
No, I get it.
No,
But
you're
here's
right,
two
Richard.
players
Please.
who grind it out, and look what happened. They almost practically, cancel each other out, right? Adriano.
I'm with Richard. I mean, in terms of Kalulu, he's kind of that diamond in the rough that we didn't even know we had. I guess a lot of fans probably overlooked him. He stepped up when his name has been called. He stepped up. Like I said, guys, he's not a true center back. He is a right back playing at a center back position, so that takes something. I'm not saying that he can't play the position. Obviously, he's been able to play the position, and he's stepping well. With Chiara going out, Romagnoli in and out of form, even though as of late he's been playing well. But in terms of Kalulu as a player, beast of the match, absolutely. I think along with maybe
Do you have another
maybe a
choice?
Benacer, maybe a Giroud, stuff like that. But in terms of if we're on their show, we're talking beast of the match. I think definitely Kalulu gets a shout, and I think it's not only Kalulu, like you said, Ralph. It's Tomori helping him out. Because Kalulu, he, like Richard said, he's fearless. He'll go in for the tackle. He'll push up the play. He'll close somebody down. He has the pace. Romagnoli would have gotten smoked by Osimhen. Osimhen is fast as lightning, but pace, right? So a guy like Kalulu, I think had a good game, and I don't think it's something that we're gonna have to expect every game, because he is still young. He's going to be 22 years of age. So you've got to give these types of players time. But again, just to fill in for the time that he's needed, he's been spectacular. And I know a lot of fans want to say, "Oh yeah, we found our new center back." Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to label it as that yet.
Fair enough.
I listened to Serie sit down as well.
Yeah.
All their stuff, but I don't know. I think he's in the mix. He's in the rotation. Is he the solution? I don't know. But in terms of this game against Napoli, for sure, he had Osimhen locked up, and in the air, on the ground, for pace. He was always there.
The title of the show, obviously, it's mental. Well, the theme of the show rather is mentality. And despite maybe him not being a center back or a true center back, the fact that he can get in there, do it, shut down this amazing striker, and he had the help with Tomori and I mean as well as Theo Hernandez. I thought in left back did it. He was very physical, did a great job.
He was all over the Theo Hernandez,
all over the place, man. He was pushing Fabian around. He was
agitating.
He was agitating, right? And that back line, man, that's why the score line remained at 0. I really think, aside from the press, them taking away big chances, or clear shots from Napoli, I think made the difference. The Giroud with the goal, of course, that deflection of just that hockey style goal was crazy. And I think it was Ando at the restaurant. He was like, there's going to be like this cheeky little goal or a mistake or something, and that's going to be the ball game. And lo and behold,
he called it.
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't even call it a mistake on Napoli's part. It was a failed shot by, who was it? Florenzi who took a shot?
Kessie first.
Calabria.
Calabria with the pass.
Right. So Calabria with the pass shot, and then
guys, I think he knew very well to pass that ball.
Well, I don't even know if it was. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced it was a pass.
I'm not convinced either.
I'm not convinced it was a pass.
You think it was a shot to the far side?
I think it was a botched shot, and then Giroud was
right place,
well
right
enough
time.
to know where, right place, right time, and had the angle. And I mean, we even Gaetano and I called it una mezzatina, like a half a shot. It wasn't even like a real shot. It was just, let me stick my foot out here and see what happens, and it went in, and that's a mark of a true great number 9. And Henry Bell, the former Frank sidekick in my Far From Vesuvius group chat, texted he tweeted this out earlier today, saying that Napoli, that's what Napoli lack, is something like a Giroud. Now we have a fantastic striker in Osimhen, but we need a guy like a Petagna sort of guy. We need our a backup to Osimhen needs to be more like Giroud and less like a Petagna, like somebody who's going to get in the right positions, somebody who's going to take smart shots. And Petagna has qualities that you could appreciate sometimes, but Giroud is exactly what Napoli need,
Right, like the old wise man to come in and help. Like Napoli really lack that right now, man.
Right. And they lack
wisdom. All we have is in Mertens. Sorry.
Right. No, you're right.
You're right.
And that's something that you can't. I mean, Giroud's been massive for Milan this season, and it's a great. It's a great thing for Milan to have him taking these like outrageous shots that go in, or like just being in the right place at the right time. And honestly, we say mistake, Raff, right? Go back to that mistake. Napoli really didn't make too many defensive errors either. Napoli, except for the goal, Napoli shut Milan down as well defensively and had possession.
Your center backs were good.
I mean, listen, our center backs are the best in the league.
And they were both carded. They were both on the
and that's the issue now. I'd like to go to there. Now I was trying not to go there, guys, but I'm gonna have to. Okay,
we're gonna go.
I got a big problem. And every single Napoli fan in this chat knows exactly where I'm going with this. When they announced that it was Orsato and Valeri up in VAR, right? We were like, we lost. 3 points gone. Okay?
We were right.
We thought the same thing.
I think the Milan fans were saying the same thing.
Napoli's going to lose. They got Orsato.
No, they were saying.
No, we said we were going to lose.
You're going to lose.
Yeah, Orsato hates us. Orsato hates us.
What I'm trying to say is, Orsato.
God forbid.
Listen, we could talk about that. But what I'm trying to say here is this. I'm taking nothing away from both teams. I think it was a good game. I think, like I said, Napoli, like in watching it at the restaurant and like in real time, and then I watched it again today to like sort of analyze it. I see and appreciate the Milan aspect of it. Like when I'm watching live, I'm watching the Napoli aspect, like, oh, what's going on with Napoli? But then I watch again to analyze, and it's like, okay, I understand where Milan played a great game. Because at the time, I'm like, Napoli outplayed Milan. What's going on? They had one shot, But that's the fan in me trying to react, right? This freaking guy, Orsato, I'm sorry, gave Napoli nothing yesterday. They gave Napoli nothing yesterday. It was a penalty kick, in my opinion. And in a lot of people's opinions. We got to look at that again. It was a penalty kick in the first half. But not only do they not give a penalty, they didn't give anything to Osimhen at all yesterday. And Koulibaly's first offense, albeit he sliced Giroud open. Yes, I agree with the yellow. I'm not disagreeing with the yellow. I agree. But it was his first offense, and it was a tough challenge, so the card was right. But where was the foul? Where was at least a foul? Not even a yellow. I'm not even trying to get a yellow out of that other side. I'm trying to get the fouls called. Where were the fouls? Napoli got nothing yesterday. Nothing. And then Ramani, his first offense was a yellow, and it wasn't as bad as the Koulibaly foul.
Little light.
So in the first half, both of our center backs are carded, and it's like, guys, what? But you're not giving Milan anything at all. And I hate when the referees, and you guys know this because we're talking about these, when the referees just don't let them play. Aside from that Koulibaly foul, and if you're going to let Milan play, you need to let Napoli play a little bit too. And Napoli, for me, was getting no calls their way. And I'm not blaming the refs because I'm really not. Napoli had nothing in attack yesterday. Nothing at all in attack. So Napoli lost the match. But it's very frustrating to watch these referees try to go into business for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. And you know what? It's either you let them play or you don't. But like at the same time, it seems like they pick and choose when they want to let them play. In this, and if you're gonna, and why does it have to come down to if you're gonna call one, I'm gonna have to call the other to make it fair? Like, why does it even have to result to that? We were at the bar too, right, Rafa? So I'm in the same boat as you. We were watching it the same way, just for different sides. So I definitely agree, but. I think it's a collective in this group that we saw Orsato, we thought the worst, and it's one of those things that I don't know. He has all the experience in the world, again, quote unquote, and we're sitting here Monday night, talking about the refs, and I hate talking about the refs, and I hate having to bring
it feels
this
so
up.
redundant,
I don't want to blame the refs, but. The VAR the past couple of weeks with the refereeing, it's still a problem.
Can I be controversial?
Rich, yes, please. We love that here.
So I agree. I had the same feelings about Orsato going into the game, and maybe it's just my Milan bias. I thought Orsato had a good game, in my opinion, and I know I'm going to hate for that. I thought, yes, he missed a penalty on Osimhen, but I thought he missed a penalty on Bennacer possibly. And so I was fine with neither call being happening because it seemed to me, maybe just in Milan perspective, that he was letting them play a little bit. I mean, I think Koulibaly ultimately should have got the yellow for the foul, but it should have been a foul when he sees the cut. Give him a yellow, not give him a yellow right away like he did. Some referees will give that a red by looking at the cut, and I don't think it would have been red. Koulibaly is I don't think he had any malice in it at all. He was there the whole time trying to console him, but I was overall okay with Orsato's performance, and that's very rare for me when I see Orsato. I never compliment Orsato ever, but maybe again it's my perspective looking at it from Milan glasses. But I thought he had a decent game, and I thought yes he missed that penalty, but I thought the Bennacer one was pretty close too. Both are 50-50. Angles are hard to read. I don't know.
But when we have VAR now, we should be able to look at VAR and
true.
Right,
Adriano,
right.
Absolutely.
And I want to say to Carmelo, because he put up a thing in here. He said, "Come on, Rafa, we deserve nothing from yesterday." Carmelo, I just said we don't deserve to win. We lost the match. We had nothing in attack. It's exactly what I said. I'm not saying we deserved anything. But what I'm saying is, if Orsato did the thing is that Orsato, those fouls came first, and then the yellows came for the center backs. So if Orsato just did what he had to do and called that penalty, who knows? Maybe the Bennacer penalty would have been called too and given, and it could have been 2-1. But what I'm saying is, you have to play balanced. You have to play the game balanced. If you're gonna not call fouls on one end and then yellow card people on their first offense, on the other end, it's gonna look bad on you. It really is, And
it puts one of the clubs. Listen, guys, you had both your center backs, like we mentioned, right? Carded. That changes the whole. That changes the whole landscape
approach
of the game,
changes
right?
The whole
approach.
approach.
You can't be bit more risky. You can't really go into a tackle or a challenge as hard as you would. You really have to hold back and not try to get that red card, right? So it puts a damper on the game in terms of that too, because when you see a Milan, Napoli, a derby, whatever it may be, you want to see the best 11, the best players on the pitch fighting it out, and the best team win. When there's a bit of inconsistencies, and it wouldn't be Serie A if there weren't these types of things, as much as we love the league, but it's unfortunate when it comes down to things like this.
I want to read out a comment from Vincenzo here because I think this sums it up well. Vincenzo Bertillo says, we deserved a penalty as it was identical to the penalty against Inter. Milan played better, but the VAR had to check that. And I'm kind of with that because it's there, use it.
Yeah.
I think it was like the person up top was saying that it was not a clear and obvious or something for the ref, because isn't it? That's when VAR...
I think if VAR said that, I think we'd be okay with that call, but they didn't even check it. I agree. They should have checked.
But guys, we're in the dark. We don't even know. We don't hear.
Yeah,
like,
for all we know, they could have checked it and said no, we're good.
We're good.
We don't
we're good. Carry on. Right.
See, and said it in the chat. I think. Sorry, Raff. I don't want to cut you guys off. I think it was Gaetano who said in the chat. Was it a penalty for Osimhen? I think if there was one that was a little bit worse than the other, I think the Osimhen one was a bit more. We were holding our breath, right? Like that's a big call. We didn't see the Benacer one get called. I think it was a little bit of a lesser call. I still think both of them could have been penalties, but it was playing with fire on that one, in my opinion.
Release the VAR audio, guys. Do you agree?
They do in Australia.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. They should.
Don't they do it in? Think they do it in the UFC?
Forza Juve. Okay.
Rigore.
Che fai dopo?
Rigore per la Juve.
Caffè dopo la partita. Ok. No penalty. Guys,
at the very least, at the very least, they should have some sort of like graphic on the bottom, VAR checking penalty. In match too, in the match, like in the game.
Just to appease us.
I agree.
Yeah, see, Carmelo,
I've been seeing that.
That's great,
guys. We're hitting that 1 hour mark. I'm gonna put on a little closing music.
Well, you know what that means. We have 25 minutes left. So
we'll have a good 25. It's a 4-minute song.
I'm going to bring one more topic up to the guys, and I want to see what they say. While you play the closing music, Ralph. Guys, the Serie A, when you count weeks 1, 2, and 3, have seen 5 different league leaders. And the lead changed 9 different times. This is the 9th lead change. How many more times does the league lead change until we finally get the clear Scudetto winner? What do you think?
I saw a statistic the other day that the leader with 10 games to go won the Scudetto, I think, every time or something like that. It was a great number. And also the second place team. But yeah, I hate to be that guy. But
again,
I don't think
Richard,
it's one of those years. I don't think it's one of
those
years. I think it's so inconsistent at the top between the top 3. It's going to change at least 3 more times, I think. I honestly do. I hate to say it. I would love to see us win out, but I say at least 3 more times.
Yeah.
I honestly do.
We were saying like how many points are available. There's the 30 points. I think I'm with Raff on this one that in terms of there's going to be still some slip ups. It's not going to be smooth sailing down the stretch, guys. There's 10 games left, but these are 10 finals in my opinion for all 3 of the top 3 teams. I'm not going to include Juve. We're on a Napoli show with Milan fans. We're sticking to our 3.
That's right.
But yeah, I think there's definitely going to be the slip ups. It's definitely going to happen. I was going to say around 3 or 4 times. I can see. Again, I don't know about the Serie A scheduling. When I didn't catch when Inter's playing Bologna for the makeup game.
They haven't scheduled that yet. They haven't scheduled that yet.
Right, so we still have to keep that at the back of our minds. I know I don't want to put too much into that because, like I said earlier to start the show, you have to take care of your own laundry, your own business.
Right.
So it's you can't start worrying about, oh, is Inter going to drop points in that game? Is Napoli going to screw up against Sassuolo or Hellas? Like, guys, you care about your own team, you worry about your own business, and you take it from there. But I do agree with the guys that I would say probably another 3 or 4 times, and it's going to be a fight to the finish, in my opinion. It's the best Campionato that we've seen in a while, with a 3-headed race without Juve. So, guys, I think it's all smiles down here.
I'd like to answer.
Go ahead.
Rafa. I think it's gonna be switched maybe more than 3 times. I think every week we're gonna be like, oh, this guy's in first now. Oh, this guy's in first now. It's gonna go back and forth. At least I hope so. I mean, for Napoli's sake. I think as the fan in me, I think any fan right now is gonna be like, wow, this is gonna come down to the wire. I think that's the safest bet.
Yeah.
To say
it will. Yeah.
Guys, don't hold your breath. I mean, you saw last year, season came fucking 2, 3, 4, and 5. Came down to the final game. It's going to be something very similar, unless one team just happens to pull away, like in the final, stretch, in the final, maybe let's just say in these next 3-4 weeks or something, we see like Napoli-Milan dropping to go up, especially with the game, maybe, or whatever combination. But I really think that this nobody really knows. I'm really not trying to get my emotion on any of this on a week by week basis right now. I'm counting the points. That's all I'm doing right now. I think that's the best. It's the safest thing to do. Count the points. See who gets to 85. I think that is the general consensus of now. Milan, Napoli, Napolitani, Milanisti. It's like 85, safe number to bet. I feel like it's like crypto. It's like stocks. It's like Bitcoin's going to 85. Well, the Scudetto's going to 85, and let's where's going to be the most support there? Who's going to hit it, guys? But I want to give you all an opportunity to plug your shows. Adriano, I'll start with you. And then, of course, any projects or something that you got going on. Let's take it away.
Yeah, man. Listen, guys. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure, chatting couch. I know I was a late addition. I was a late substitute. I don't know, a late addition to the show. So I definitely do appreciate it. First time on the show, and I hope for many more opportunities in the future. But you guys do great work, and you know what? We're on social media. We see it all. In terms of supporting each other, and I think that's a big part of what we do at the Culture Guys. That's it's all from us, it's all love, and we're just a weekly Serie A show. The Culture Guys. You can find us everywhere on social media, on all your favorite podcasting platforms as well. We put some YouTube clips as well. On our
and your
YouTube
graphics
channel,
are really cool too. I like your graphics too.
I try my best. I'm kind of the brains behind the socials, so I try to do what I can. Guys, we do this for fun. We do this for our passion for the game, the beautiful game that we all love. And we're coming on a show, guys. Me and Richard, Milan fans, coming on a Napoli show. For me, that doesn't matter. We have fans from all walks of life, from all different fan bases. We try our very best to do that and get different perspectives, get different opinions, and we're not always going to agree, guys. But at the end of the day, it's the love of culture that brings us together, and I think that's what we're going to continue on to do. So it's just been a big thanks to you guys for having me on, and like I said, I hope to do it again sometime.
Certainly a pleasure, Adriano. Big shout out to the Culture Guys, Nicholas and Johnny as well, man. We love you guys. Always showed us support from the beginning too. So you guys definitely have a special place here. I want you to know that. Richard, on to you, sir. The Serie A sit down.
Yeah,
talk to us.
I've actually met the Culture Guys, so I've been fortunate there, right?
There you go.
I kind of want to echo I want to echo the thanks, for having us on. First, it's nice to be able to just talk about Milan, right? Not taking off the Serie A coat and be able to talk about my team. No, thank you for having us on. We really, love the work you guys do. Love the graphics you do as well. Culture Guys do, but you guys also for the video stuff. It's really amazing stuff. So we're really, really in awe of that. And so thank you again. Serie A Sit Down. You can follow us all over social media, podcasts, everywhere, anywhere, and everywhere. I try to put out content on YouTube as well. But yeah, thank you again. And then if you want, my side piece is nothing to do with Serie A. I got
Yeah.
a Shock America podcast that I do for fun. As
Yeah,
well, so
there you go.
There
How
it
are they
is.
doing, Schalke? How are they doing?
they're in the second division. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
Well, I mean, where
They're
in the
o-
second division? Up,
Promotion
down,
doesn't
up,
look
down?
promotion doesn't look
Doesn't look good?
realistic this right now.
'Cause I know they were up and down, right? Were
Yeah,
they?
yeah, promotion doesn't look likely at this point, but so anyway, yeah, definitely give us a follow. We as we call it, we're a recap show on steroids, and so we talk everything and everything.
That you
Sometimes
are.
too
That you
long.
are.
2 hours
Yes,
is like our,
sir.
I think so. Anyway, thank you guys. We really appreciate it, and gotta have you both again sometime. Rafa's been on several times.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
on what,
Yeah,
4 or
man.
5 caps, right? What,
Yeah,
I gotta get mine. I double booked the day of my invitation, so I had to drop out early.
He chose family
and-
over us. You believe that?
Yes, damn it. Damn
Look
it.
at this guy.
What is this?
See this guy? The nerve on me to
Can't believe it.
Jesus, Raff.
Yeah.
No, I was sad. I was so excited. You don't understand when you asked me. I was like, this is awesome. That's why I wasn't thinking that I was like, shit, I had to babysit that day. And my sister-in-law was like, Raff, don't forget. I'm like, oh, this little shit. This little shit. Take him away. Serie, sit down, called me. Don't you understand?
It's a big opportunity.
I was going to hang
May never come again.
radiator. Yeah, I was going to, but I didn't think that would have been a good idea. But yes, I do got to get on. Guys, the minute, I'm coming on.
We'll have all you guys on again soon.
Yeah, let's do it. Big party at the
you,
city. Sit down. Cool. No, but thank you so much. Again, to you, Adriano, the Culture guys, Richard and Serie. Sit down.
And I just want to say
another
a big
great
thank you
show.
to your chat. Your
Yes.
chat has been amazing, guys.
Thank
Napoli,
you.
This Napoli chat. I mean, you guys didn't attack us too much. I definitely just want to throw some hands up for that. Thank you so
Got to
much.
tell you something. The chat, a lot of these guys here we met yesterday at the chat.
Nice.
In the chat. A lot of these guys we've known for a little bit. We've met at least once, or just they're in here every week, and they're just a gem. Like, this is one of the best chats I've ever been part of. Is this live chat here? I mean, whether it's a Interista or Juventino or Milanista, they come in and they're very, very, very respectful to our guests, and they're engaging, and they talk with knowledge, and just respect, just a lot of respect. And I have to say, man, like none other. This chat is like family to us. So I'm thank you, chat, for embracing Richard and Adriano as one of our own, because they're such good people, man. And I would love to have a day where maybe for the Azzurri, I don't know, where we all meet in one central location. If we, how about if we make the World? How about if we make the World Cup? And
again,
these.
I like it.
But I'm saying, and also I'd like to say this too, guys, before we leave. I have a lot of Milan fan friends, and I have a lot of friends in fans of every team. I do. Believe it or not, there are some Juventini out there that are actually respectable and I can get along with. But my Milan friends are like the best. I have to say, between you, Richard, and Frank, the culture guys, you, Adriano, Milan Club, Montreal, the Milan Weekly Pod, Bonetti's one of them. A couple of guys on IFTV, a couple of guys on other shows. I just have to say that Milan fans, for me, are like the nicest group outside of my Napoli crew. Honestly,
most of the time,
most of the time, we're a bit crazy. We're a bit crazy, but I think it's all love at the end of the day. At least on all
who's
my
not
end,
crazy?
but-
Who's
That's
not
it.
crazy, Adriano?
Cultural Twitter,
We're all
guys.
crazy, man. Cultural Twitter is crazy. Never mind Napoli Twitter, Milan Twitter, Juve Twitter, Inter Twitter. Cultural Twitter has lost their minds, honestly. But I just want to say thanks, because Milan Club Philly too. Everybody's been so great to me anyway. So I just want to say thank you guys. Really do appreciate it.
And absolutely, and just one last thing, just
please
stop the hate. I mean,
Stop the
guys,
hate.
Stop the hate, man.
Stop the hate.
Chill
guys.
out.
I mean, we're shooting the shit. 4 guys We like different teams. You have a difference of opinion. That's fine. Keep the ego at the door. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm in group chats with some other people in the cultural world. We've spoken to you guys many times, on the pod, off the pod, off air, on air, whatever it may be, and we kind of have the similar mentality. But it just you log into some of these things and you see so much hate, and it's a sad thing, because I think what built this community is everybody having the same passion and the same love for one another, for the sports, for the beautiful game. And I would hope that it can continue on that path instead of what it can do, the dark side of it. So again,
Peace, love, and
it's
culture.
much love.
Yes, peace, love, and culture, man.
I love that.
We're gonna get something started, guys. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk more about this. Certainly, man. Maybe we can get something going. Really, like, influence the community. I love that. I'm all about it. So, but let's do it. But guys, no late shows. Love the 30-minute goodbyes. Yes. I told you.
Rafa called it.
Listen,
Sean, make sure.
Contact me. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Get in touch with Richard.
I'm down. 100%.
Adriano, it's a running joke between Pasquale and I. We have this Napolitan goodbye. It's like last night. I'm going to extend this now.
Oh, Rafa, come on. I got to wrap it up. I got to wrap it up.
Last night on
60 seconds, Rafa. I got to wrap it up.
Last night I dropped my father off at the house to come back up here from the meet, right? I'll come by for 10 minutes. I was there for 2 hours. I said goodbye. Oh, wait, Aunt Joanne's coming. Oh, wait, your sister's downstairs. Oh, wait, this.
Have some coffee.
I got to drive another 2.5 hours. I got to go.
Yeah, have some goudalet,
Get your zeppole, guys. It's almost San Giuseppe.
Yeah.
For real. We're gonna get one. Anyway, guys. Anyway, thank you again so much. Thank you to everybody in the chat, everybody on the audio for listening to us, man. We love you all. Forza Napoli, but Forza Calcio today. I'm gonna say Forza Calcio, guys.
And Buona Fortuna Milan.
And Buona Fortuna Milan. All right. Race to the end, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Much love. Bye.